Hey everyone, I'm Matt with Ozark Overland Adventures, and I see all the time in the different groups that I'm in regarding off-roading or overlanding, people asking, what's the best communications? Is it CB? Is it GMRS? Is it amateur radio or ham? Is it FRS? What's the best option? And my answer is always, well, it depends on what the group you're running with uses. Because if everyone in the group you're running still uses CB, well then CB is the right answer. If everyone that you're running with are, amateur radio operators and they've all got, ham radios in their rigs, then that's the option. But for myself and the group that I run with, we have chosen to go with GMRS radios for four reasons. One, sound quality is amazing. If you have used CBs in the past, you know that unless you can understand that garbledy talk that you get a lot of times, it's hard to understand people on a CB unless your antenna is tuned super good and everybody else's is too. Two, ease of installation. They've got handhelds as options, but they've also got radios like this that the install cannot be easier, and I'm going to demonstrate that here in a minute with this one. Number three is the range. The range on GMRS is incredible, and as you get into radios like this one, you can easily broadcast 20 plus miles with these types of radios. And so if you're in a group and you're at most a couple hundred yards apart, sound quality is never going to be an issue, and they're going to be fantastic. And the fourth issue is that the licensing on these is super easy and cheap. It's $35 now with the FAA. There's no test involved like there is with amateur radio, and the license covers both you and your household for 10 years. So if you're a household like us, where both me and my wife have our own rigs, and there are times that we go out on trips driving our own rig separately, she doesn't have to have a different license than what I have. One license covers the whole household, and that just makes getting into it super affordable and super easy for everyone. And actually a fifth reason is that GMRS is going to be the most compatible if you're running with new people, or at an event and need something you don't know what people are going to run, because 9 out of 10 times people are going to have the little handheld walkie-talkies like you could get from Walmart or Academy or any sporting goods store that are FRS radios, and those are there's no licensing involved, they're low power, they're super cheap. Most likely people are going to use those, and GMRS is compatible with FRS radios, which if you're going to take a gamble and just pick one radio to run in your rig, GMRS is the way to go. Because if you're running a CB but everybody else has FRS radios, well, you're out of luck. Or if you're a ham operator and just have a ham radio in your rig, you're also out of luck. GMRS is definitely the way to go. This is the GMR45. It's by Rugged Radios. Now, if you've watched this channel for a while, you know that I've been running a different manufacturer's radio for a long time and have very much liked it. But when Rugged Radios reached out to me and asked me if I would be willing to test this and check it out, I couldn't say no. Rugged Radios is a well-established brand in this industry. They have been doing communications for the off-road racing industry, pre-running, motorcyclists, ATVs, industries for a long time. And they are now getting into GMRS radios for the off-road, just the general off-road overlanding crowd. They have multiple kits, they have multiple radios, they have handhelds, they have mounted units like this. And I mean, upon first inspection, I think this is a really nice radio. In the box, and this is a kit they sent me that includes the radio, microphone, antenna cable, antenna mount, which this is going to go up on my light bar, and then a 2.1 dB gain stealth antenna. And these things are fantastic. They're not the big tall antenna that you're going to knock on a tree and possibly break. These are real handy to put out of the way. So very much like them. It has 15 channels. both high powered and low powered. Like I said, this is compatible with FRS radios. Build quality looks really solid. I like it. And one thing I love about this radio is the mic mount. It comes with a magnetic mount. Let me take this out. It comes with a magnetic mount, so not your typical, little disc on the back that you haven't had a mount for. This is an adhesive mount, and it's actually a pretty tough magnet. So just being able to slap your radio up there. There's been times when I've tried to put my mic down on my other radios and have missed. If I'm off-road and bouncing around on the rocks, you got to try to fumble around with it. This is just super easy. So I love the fact that they include a magnetic mount with this. Everything is waterproof. This is IP67 rated, so if you have this outside and it's raining or something, you don't have to worry about getting that messed up. So I love that. But let's get this installed and let me show you how super easy this is. Ozark Overland Adventures is proudly supported by the More Expo, the Midwest's only indoor event for adventure travel enthusiasts. Artemis Overland Hardware. They have the passion and knowledge to ensure that your next outdoor experience is more than a camping trip, it's an adventure. And Long Creek Overland, your source for Ozark Overland Adventures merchandise and more. And the first step is obviously find a place that you want to mount this. For my radio and my JK, I had it mounted over here on the side of the center console on the driver's side. You could mount it under the steering wheel. There's companies that make brackets or plates that go either along the front to back under the freedom panels. There's one that goes side to side under the freedom panels, so you could mount it up high if you wanted to. For my installation, most of the time I run solo as far as in my rig goes, but my wife actually didn't like it on the driver's side when she would drive, so I'm going to mount it on the passenger side of this one. And luckily for me, these brackets between companies are actually universal. So I've already got a bracket installed, so I don't have to use this one because they're the same. After you know where it's going, then it's just a matter of running your wires. Rugged Radios does include a really long power connector, and I like the fact that they include this that runs directly to the battery instead of the cigarette style DC inputs that other brands have, because that way I don't have to take up my auxiliary output here and run it straight to the battery. I don't have to have my vehicle on to use my radio. I do have to make sure my radio is off when my Jeep is off, because I have actually left my radio on before and run the battery down overnight. But yeah, I like the fact that they include this direct connection to the battery for the radio. And this, I'll just run it here, I'll run it under the dash, up through the firewall, and back over here to the battery. And also, these are universal, so I've already got power run. So, yay for that. Don't have to run another cable. But it's really simple. Next thing is the antenna wire, or the antenna cable, not really a wire, but the antenna cable. You'll do the exact same thing. You'll figure out where you want to mount your antenna. Mine's going up by the light bar. Depending on your rig, you may want it in the back, you may want it on the hood, wherever. So you'll have to figure out where to fish this through. For my sake, I am going up through the firewall, then up the A-pillar to that one. So, and once again, these are universal. So I've already got my antenna cable run to the location I need it. But I am going to use their mounting bracket because I think it's better than the DIY thing that I did. And then the last thing you need to do is figure out where you want your radio. I have this plate here that I've been using for my other radio. It's got the little notch for the CB thing. So I'm just going to take this plate with the adhesive on the back and stick it right there. And that's going to be an awesome place to run that. So I'm going to get this all set up. Shouldn't take long. And one thing that I think is pretty nice with the rugged radio is that it actually gives you 2 locations to plug your microphone into. You've got the normal location, which is right here. I like how these have the little rubber grommets on them. So I could plug it in right there. But it also has this option here if I was, you know, running the radio maybe somewhere else and needed to come out the back instead of the front. I think that's just a nice little touch, but I'm gonna run it right here because I can. Works great. I'm gonna put that right there. I think that works perfect. Bingo. There. Now let's get the antenna. Mounting the antenna really couldn't be any easier. I've got the bracket installed right here on my light bar. I think that works perfectly for it. They've got a couple different mounts. They've got magnetic mounts if you want that. They've got other brackets depending on where you want to put it, but this one worked great for me. And then you just put your antenna wire through there, put the little rubber pad on it, tighten the there we go. And then take your antenna and screw it on. Boom. It's just that easy. Well, it's really just that simple. I hope you found this video helpful. I think this Rugged Radio's GMR45 is gonna work fantastic. It is definitely one of the higher powered radios that you can get in the GMRS range, and I think it's gonna do awesome. But if you would like, subscribe, share the video. If you see people, you know, asking about comms, share this video to them if you would. Check out our Patreon if you would be interested in supporting this channel in a very tangible way. We really appreciate that. Oh, and we have new shirts. This is not one of them, but we have new shirts. I don't have one yet. We just got the design done. They'll be on the screen here. But we just got these new shirts. We've got a topo of Sully, the Gladiator, on one shirt, and then we've got 2 other shirts. We've got a song that I put at the end of a lot of our videos called, it says, "Where do we go from here? We could go anywhere." So we actually made 2 shirts out of that, one with my wife's Grand Cherokee on it that says, "Where do we go from here?" And then another with the Gladiator on it that says, "We can go anywhere." And check those out at longcreekoverland.com. Appreciate your support in that way. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.